Let's talk about freeing your butt. So when it comes to your booty, if you actually want to get stronger, feel more confident with your glute training, importantly, get out of back pain, hip pain, or other niggles which are coming from weakness in your glutes, one of the most important and the most valuable thing I can share with you is to learn how to free your butt. Literally that. Because oftentimes when our glutes are tight, we are glute gripping, you are maybe ab gripping, you have a few problems, things are just not connecting right. Your butt needs to be free. Like once we learn how to do that and be able to maintain that stability, that free feeling, everything starts to change. So I'm gonna share with you how you can free your butt and a few different exercises, a few different techniques to look out for. And from here, give it a try and your whole life is about to change. So let's get into it. So I am so happy that you've joined me in freeing your butt. So what I want to share with you first is just to notice your posture when you're sitting down right now. Do you feel your hips are tucked under? Do you feel you're slouching a little bit? If so, I'm just going to share this with you. Sit or stand how you want to feel. That is right away going to put you into a position to kind of lift up your chest and hopefully stick out your tail just a bit. Because when you are constantly butt gripping or ab gripping, there's a really high chance that you're tucking a lot like this. And we need to try to become more aware when we're sitting down or when we're exercising if we are constantly in that position. And then now that we have that awareness, all right, let's try doing a few moves and see if we can get that freedom feeling. So what I'm gonna first share with you is the downward dog. The downward dog often is an exercise that a lot of people do, but they're actually gripping when they do it. But not you, not anymore. So what I'm gonna get you to do is to first just start in all fours, sticking out your booty, making sure that you're feeling nice and free and long here, breathing in and out through your nose. And I'm going to get you to try seeing if you can maintain this position while first just doing like a little lift like this, just before we kick off to the full exercise. So just doing this is gonna be able to show yourself if you have a bit of trunk stability, and if doing this actually is just not possible for you right now, or it's difficult, then that's a sign that you're gonna wanna work on that, okay? So literally a few reps every day or every other day, just practicing this, not moving from here to here, and making sure that you're not collapsing like this. You're slightly looking further away from the floor to lift up through that chest, arms are straight, and happy booty posture as you move through here. Okay, so now if that's feeling okay, we're gonna progress to the next step. This is one of the most important things. So if you notice that when you're in this all fours position, you're mindful that you're not like this, you're actually sticking it out. What you're gonna do is try to maintain and honor that butt, okay? So you wanna think that you're showing your butt off to the world, and you wanna maintain that while you come up like this, because oftentimes if you're a butt gripper, you have a tendency to do this. You might even get your calves down to the floor, which you might think, woohoo, I get my calves down to the floor. But look, my glutes are over gripping, my core is over gripping, which I don't want. We want to perk it up, which means for many of us, including me, I'm gonna have oftentimes a bend in my knee or my heels might not touch the floor. And if I want to try to grow from this, I might try to straighten my knees and see from here, that'll help me straighten my legs a little bit, but my heels are not on the floor, and that's okay. But my arms are working, my legs are working, and my core is stabilizing me. This area is feeling free. This area is feeling free and open. Now for the cherry on top. If you are not feeling very open in this area, I'm gonna just give you a very specific cue to the foot. So when you go into this position, look at your toes, turn them towards you a little bit, almost like you're gonna pigeon toe yourself, because chances are you're not pigeon toed, but just turning your toes inwards just a tad, you might feel a very deep stretch in here or under here. So just give that a try and feel the weight, feel the weight on the ball of that foot while you're just hanging here. And even if you have to bend your knees in this position, that's fine. As soon as you feel that ball on your foot, that placement, it's like instant calf stretch. Oh my gosh, so good. And then just bend your knees a bit, take a break from it if it's feeling a bit intense, and then just try seeing if you can straighten your knees again if it's available, or keep it bent, whatever works for you. But ultimately, as long as we're keeping that booty nice and pretty, or well, perky is what I mean, because when you've got a perky booty, you've got a pretty booty. Okay, little break. I'm gonna show you progression from there, because when you start, you might be starting in a closer position, like closer stance, And I'm gonna share with you now how I can just kind of lengthen my body a little bit more, which means I'm not gonna start in all fours, and I'm gonna start in a plank position. So from here, like that. So that means I'm not doing this, I'm just neutral, okay? And then from here, I feel longer to start with, and then I go into my down dog. And then just hang out here, gaze between your feet, make sure your head's not collapsing down. It's just in alignment with the rest of your body. And then slowly coming down. More often than not, as I mentioned before, everybody races to get their heels down to the floor when we want to prioritize that pelvis, what our hips are doing, because that's going to open up the hips. Because the downward dog or variations of the downward dog are all about opening flow. And if we're closed, or if our muscles are in a really tight position, there's no flow happening. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna share with you that's gonna hopefully help you is another inverted position, but a little bit more gentler. So you're gonna grab a block or some books or whatever you have near you. This one, you can either grab 1 or 2 blocks. You can stack them up on top of each other if you want a little bit more height, or you can also just put them side by side. All right, so depending on how you're feeling, some people will just feel good enough with 1 block, some people will feel better with 2. So assess. And some people might not feel anything at all, and that's totally fine. So you're just going to place your knees, the weight below the kneecap on the blocks, and you're just going to stick your tail out and hang out like this. And just breathing in and out through the nose, making sure your head is not collapsing down, slightly push away just a little bit. And you might start to feel a stretch down your spine here. And we're gonna just hold this for a few more seconds. And this is a really nice gentle one you can do after a long day at work, or if you've just been sitting around, not really aware of your body lately. Okay, and then slowly stepping away from that. Really simple one, that one, a lot less intense than the downward dog, but they're both just as important as each other. And the good news is that over time, as you start to feel more free in your bum, your pelvis, you're not gonna feel the need to do these exercises so much, or you might not feel that deepness release or that stretch as much because you're actually getting better. Woohoo! The next exercise you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a softball foam roller and you're gonna place it in between your thighs. You're then just going to keep both feet straight in front of you, making sure you're not turned out like that. Just the ability to strengthen your awareness with your feet like this is gonna be really helpful and progressive towards so many other exercises. That's gonna give you that length and that freedom in your glutes, but we can get more to that later. And just from here, I'm gonna get you to try going down into a squat. And it's really important to know that when you're in this position, you're likely gonna get stopped. You might not be able to go any lower, and that's okay. The goal of this squat is kind of like a quarter squat for most people, or you go wherever you can, and you're gonna lightly hold the ball, so you're not holding it really hard, but just lightly. It's enough to just feel opening around here. Your inner thighs are gonna fire. You can kind of hang out here for a few seconds if you want, and then exhale, come up. Making sure when you come up, you don't need to over squeeze your glutes at all, okay? That's really important. We wanna just focus on lengthening as you come down, and as you come up, push through your feet to come up. That push, that sensation like you're pushing the floor away, actually triggers your glute muscles to kick in lightly or as much as needed based off the demand, based off the intensity of the exercise or how many reps you've done. So you don't need to overforce anything. So right now I'm actually quite soft, and because I don't need to stress my body out. It's not stressful enough, okay? And then dropping down again, I'll get you to just practice a few more, going up and down. Just think of it like a massage. You're moving your body really nicely. And now if I show you from the front, so dropping down, lightly holding the ball, and then coming up. So you will feel a bit funny, and it's normal that if you think that your knees are caving in, but they're probably not. Your knees are likely just in line with your second toe, so just check that, and then you know you're doing it well. And then as you come up, you notice your knees will spiral out slightly, and then dropping down, and then exhale, coming up. Breathing in, and then exhale, come up. So how did you go with those 3 exercises? Let me know below. Hopefully you are starting to feel a little bit more awareness and freedom in the back of your hips, maybe your lower back, or maybe even you felt your glutes work in a different way. All of this is making progress. And if you felt nothing, don't worry, because it takes time before we actually connect with certain areas of our body if we have been disconnected from them for a while. So practice, patience, can't underestimate how important they are. So I hope this helps, and if you feel like you need more help, check out the details below to work with me, to join any of my upcoming programs or community, and otherwise, here's to feeling fit, firm, and bootyful.